Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.
Allow me to introduce myself. Thank you for shining with me first and foremost every week on Shine with Kendéll Lenice. I am a certified transformational life coach, speaker, author, as well as a certified financial coach. Each week I hope to elevate you, educate you, and entertain you with our various guests and various topics here on Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tell a friend. And now on to this week's show. Like she said, and on to this week's show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Shine. This is Kendéll Lenice. I'm so glad that you're shining with me today and every show. If this is your first time tuning in, I don't know how you got here, but I'm glad you did. If you love what you hear, go back and listen to past episodes. But most importantly, don't forget to spread the love. Tell someone about Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Please subscribe, because I'm trying to get the subscribers up. That way I can get, sponsors to sponsor this podcast. I like to call this a life podcast. So make sure you subscribe right on your Apple device or your Android. You can go to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify. Where all podcasts are played. If you don't know about podcasts, you better get into it, because that's now the new way of just getting knowledge and entertainment and listening to different things. You can do it from anywhere, your car, your office, sitting in your living room, at the gym. You can take Shine with Kendéll Lenice everywhere you go. And guess what? The apps are free, so it costs you nothing to listen. So once again, subscribe, listen, and share with everybody. Everybody you know, shine, have them shining with us. If you are a faithful listener, I am humbly honored that you come back every week. You share your show, you share the shows, you talk about the shows. My daughter said someone came up to her this week on her college campus saying, "I want your mom to speak at an event." And she's like, "You know my mom?" She said, "Yeah, I listened to her podcast." And my daughter was stunned. She was like, "You listen to my mom's podcast?" She doesn't even know how it came about. But I was honored, because this show, that's what it's about. I have episodes for everybody. Whether you are in college age, the original college age, and that's what we're going to talk about today, or whether you're 60 plus 70 years old. This is the 96th episode of Shine with Kendéll Lenice, so you can always go back and listen to the other episodes. I guarantee you there's something on there for you. I talk about serious issues. We laugh. We talk about sex. I had a sexologist, a certified sex coach on here. I've had a mental health specialist. I talk about autism. I talk about entrepreneurship. I talk about, I do a lot of my life coaching in different areas. I talk about love and relationships. Everything. Think about 96 episodes, and it's all a variety of shows, because we're layered people. So sometimes we're serious, we're sexual, we are in relationships. We some of us, I do love God. I talk about that. We talk about everything, because as people, we are whole, right? We're well-rounded. So I have a variety of shows. I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm serious, I'm goofy, all of that good stuff. And that's really what it's about. I don't want to bore you just talking about the same things. All right. So now that housekeeping is out of the way, before I get into, I'll do my life note after. So tonight I'm shining the spotlight on going back to school after 40 years old. Adults going back to school. Adulting, that is really adulting. Adult students. That's not an easy thing to do and come up with that decision. Let me tell you, I know all too well about it. I went back to school at 41 and got 2 degrees by 47 years old. I'm 48 now. Let me just make that clear. I went back to school at 41 after my oldest daughter went to college, I went back at 41 and got 2 degrees by 47. My quote, you guys know, if you've listened before, I say it's never too late to remix your life. I teach it, but I live it. So I know what I'm talking about. Outside of the professional Kendéll Lenice, outside of the one that you see online and social media, I'm a person too. So I'm a life coach, and I'm a speaker. So I go out speaking things that I know about professionally and personally. This is a subject, of course, that is near and dear to my heart. I'm an advocate of finishing what I start. I'm also an advocate of bettering yourself for your own personal growth. Now, let me listen to these statistics. Of 12.1 million students enrolled in community colleges in 2015-2016 school year. In community colleges, let me see. Make sure I get these statistics right. So enrolled in community colleges in 2015-2016, about 903,000 were 40 and over, according to Martha Parham, Senior Vice President of Public Relations for American Association of Community College. So it was 903,000 of y'all, and that was 2015-2016 school year. So I'm sure that number has grown. I'm so happy about the adults going back to school, rediscovering their education and exploring their options. Like, I love it. I love that people are saying, you know what? Bump the fears. I'm going to do me, and that's doing me in school. So before I invite my guest on, this week's guest, I want to get into my life note. Be right back. All right, it's time for this week's life note. All right, this week's life note is by Albert Einstein. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school, meaning you're going to get an education that is priceless and it is not going to be comparable to anything. You might not remember all the intricate details of each class and what you learn, but the education is priceless. All right. After saying all that, I am pleased to have my god sister on this episode of Shine with Kendéll Lenice. She, her, Tishera, Tishera Miles-Jones. She went back to school, so we're going to have that conversation. So, Tishera, welcome to Shine. Thanks for shining with me, sis.
Thank you, Kendéll. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. So we can shine.
Absolutely. And thank you. I'll say this in front of everybody. Thank you so much for joining my I See You Shining Shine campaign.
Absolutely. It was a must.
Yes.
15 seconds is not a lot,
See?
to offer the shine. So, why not be about something that's positive?
See there?
And that can inspire other people to shine too.
See there? So what I'm talking about is I did a campaign this year, and I asked people who wanted to participate, tell me why you shine, because I see you shining, and you telling me why you shine is telling everybody why they shine. So everybody, I asked people to do a 15-second or less video telling me why they shine. Of course, it was to empower people, but also to empower others. So then I compiled them together in a beautiful video, and everybody is shining together. So catch that on my Facebook page, Kendéll Lenice, or my Instagram at k.lenice. But I thought that was powerful with everybody saying that. What did you think?
I really loved it because to be a part of something that way was very empowering. Oftentimes people aren't asked to do something. So for you to reach out to the people that you did and for us to do it, I thought 15 seconds was too short personally, but, I got it down to 15 seconds. So, 15 seconds was a lot less. I had to redo it a couple of times, but when I watched the whole Shine campaign, I just was like, look at all these beautiful people, all these beautiful people who participated. And it inspired me. It inspired me to do something similar to it. You're just an amazing person.
Oh, thank you, Tishera. And then so are you, and it means a lot. And, just what you even said before the show, like I'm honored and I'm appreciative, because anytime you can inspire someone, as I told you in the beginning or before the show, anytime you can inspire someone that you've known for forever, that goes a long way. Because when you know somebody and they say, hey, I'm proud of you, you inspire me to do this and that holds a special place in my heart. Now, don't get me wrong. When other people that I don't know, it holds a space in my heart too. But sometimes the people they just assume that you know. You know what I mean? How they feel or what you think. But strangers, usually say, hey, thank you for inspiring me. So it means something to me. So thank you. I appreciate that, Tishera. I do.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk.
Like I said, you're amazing.
Oh, and so are you. Thank you. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Thank you. I mean, I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate you, and even for saying that, because that's what we're here for. We're truly here, I honestly believe, to inspire other people and to help people get where we are and even surpass us at times, because everybody, that's the tagline of this show, let's shine together. And I think it's so important to do that. And not only by the things you do, but how you live your life and the way you live your life, and being open and transparent with your life, the good, bad, and the ugly, so you can help inspire other people to even if you don't inspire them to do anything, but think differently. Then I think that that's a contribution to a better society. I really do.
Yes, amazing.
All right, sis, we're talking about going back to school after 40. I don't know if you saw the ad. I did an ad for you. You got to check the Facebook story, Instagram story. I used the welcome back. Did you see it? I use Mace.
I didn't see Instagram. I seen Facebook. So when I was trying to watch Instagram, the way that the Wi-Fi was connected, I couldn't see it. So I can't wait to see exactly what you put on there, because I know you. I know you're very creative. You are very creative. You're good with words, and I just can't wait to see it. That's good of you.
I just played the Mace song, Welcome Back, Welcome Back. Remember he did the remix to Welcome Back, Carter.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. We're getting older.
So we're talking about welcoming back to school. So tell me, Tishera, tell the listeners how old you are, and when did you come up with the bright idea? Hey, you know what? I want to go back to school. When did that all come about?
Well, I'm 44 years old, and I went back to school come January. It will be 2 years. And I'm going to be honest with anyone that's listening. My reasoning for going back to school was because I was inspired through death. I had lost my aunt, and my aunt was big on education, not just for her children, because her kids had graduated college, and her grandchildren were in high school and in college. But I was inspired through her death, because at 60 years old, she had went back and got her bachelor's. So I said, now, if my aunt did it at 60 and I'm 42, I can go back to school and leave a legacy.
Wow, 60 years old, she went back and got her bachelor's. Wow. Wow. Yes. It's never too late to remix your life. I say it and say it again.
No, it's not. It's not. And that was the true inspiration behind wanting to go back to school, because I was someone that left school early. I got a high school diploma, but I didn't go through the graduation and everything, because life was different for me. And just to go back to school, it was like, okay, walk in your purpose and get it done.
Wow. So tell me, were you, and this is what I get from a lot of people, well, I'm nervous. I don't know if I'm smart anymore. I don't know if I can sit still that long. I don't know if I have the time to do the homework. I'm not sure how I'm going to pay for it. Did any of those things go through your mind when you decided to go back to school?
I had knew, a lot of it had went through my mind. I never questioned not being smart enough. I just knew that I may have not understood, because a lot of things changed from when I was in school. They're doing MLA, format. I didn't know nothing about
that. Was
that.
tricky.
All I knew about
Yeah.
was a pen and a piece of paper. So when they said put it in MLA format, I said, well, who in the MLA are they talking about?
What in the MLA is going on here?
Yeah, what in the MLA are they talking about? They're using words, Kendéll, and I'm saying to myself, Lord, now, I don't know what they're talking about, but go with it. So it was more so because people were in school that were just coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And they did know exactly the curriculum, what to do and how to do it. And I said, well, you got to figure this one out. And when it came to the financial part of it, I had already made up in my mind that I'm going to get it done. If I have to take one class per semester,
that's right.
I'm going to still get it done.
That's right.
And and that's what I've been doing. And every semester, I get better.
That's right.
And I can say that I get better. My vocabulary, child, it done changed.
Yeah.
I know some big words.
Okay.
Wow. Now, so the person that I was 2 years ago, I'm a different person 2 years later, because now I understand how important it is to have an education.
See?
And don't get me wrong, some people don't want to get a college education, but I believe that education is important for everyone.
Absolutely.
You have to get some kind of knowledge.
Absolutely.
You have to.
Absolutely. So, Tishera, I don't know if I talked about my journey a little bit, but I decided to go back to school when I did at 41 for me. Now, I had gone to college right after high school and all of that. And then I got married early, and I got married while I was in college. So I had been going for some years. And then when I started a family, I stopped. And throughout that time, I had so many accomplishments in my life. I was an author. I was in a career that I had been in for years and still in the same human services and doing coaching. I mean, I stopped even counting my certificates. My mom, she's like, why don't you put them all up? I don't, because I'm not into putting them all up in my office and all of that. But what I'm trying to say is I had accomplished so much that some people were like, well, you already doing in the field that you're doing. I was already coaching, and why are you going back to school? And I said, it's for me. It's something that I want to do. Now, all the things that I've accomplished, I still question, like, dang, am I still book smart? Like, will I get into that college classroom and still have it? Will I be able to do same like you? That MLA threw me for a loop. I was like, now what now? Right. And then the first semester I made the dean's list, and I continued, and I graduated magna cum laude. So it is possible. And so many people have doubts. Like you just said, you made a powerful statement, Tishera. You said that the education that you're learning, you can see your vocabulary changing. You think that everybody should have that experience at education. Did you feel that way before?
I don't want to say I felt that way, but I knew that I wanted it for my children. I knew that I wanted my children to surpass me. I wanted them to get an education. I wanted them to not have to deal with life the way that I had to deal with life. So I knew that it was important to know more. How they were going to get to know more. I pushed college on all of them, but only 2 of them had went. And I still was okay with that, because guess what they did? They graduated high school.
That's right. And college isn't for everybody. See there?
Right. Yes, I'm here. Hello?
No, I was saying, see there, like they graduated from high school and they went to college, but college isn't for everybody. But education is, like you said. I love that.
Yeah, it is. You have to, especially in today's society, you have to know how to be able to know, I guess, I would say, know where to, how that song goes. It's a song that's on the tip, know where to hold and know where to fold. When I think of that song, I think about being able to sit where you need to sit at sometimes and be able to fold fall back when you have to. You have, in this society, you have to be able to have very good diction. You have to be able to pronunciate. You have to understand it. Some people say pronunciate. Some people say enunciate. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to know the difference when you're talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
And just being educated, even if you picked up a book and read a book, you can get an education from that.
See,
and too many people don't take it. Too many people don't even think that way.
Yeah, yeah. So when you first, decided to, because I want you to inspire someone out there. So when you first said, you know what, I'm going to go back to school, tell the people the first thing you did, and then also tell them what it was like after all of these years sitting down in a classroom.
When I decided to go back to school, like I said, it came through the fact that I had lost my aunt, and I was inspired because I knew that she was an advocate for education. So I went through the process of taking the test to see where I placed at, and I had took the placement test back in the 90s, and I had scored low. So I had to take prerequisite classes,
Mm-hmm.
and I just said, okay, well, go ahead and go. And they put me in English 101, and they put me in a sociology class. And I said, I think I could do pretty well in an English class, but sociology, I knew nothing of it, so I thought.
I love sociology.
And and once after I sat in a classroom with people in sociology, that's when I started to feel that I didn't know anything, because everybody was answering questions. They knew about different things, Derwin's and, all
the theories,
the have and the have not,
mm-hmm.
the theories.
Mm-hmm.
I knew nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I heard of it,
mm-hmm.
but I knew nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So a part of me had felt like I was going to crumble, but then I had to also think about it. I paid out my pocket.
Mm.
You're going to get it.
Mm. And that's what you were there for, to learn something different. So
Absolutely.
You were where you needed to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so with that, I just persevered. That's the word I use. I persevered. I pushed through because I was going through a lot at that time.
Yeah.
I was going through a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And I just said, well, you paid your money, and, don't take me the wrong way. Getting A's and B's are great. Getting on the dean's list is great. But I didn't even go into school with that attitude.
That's right. I
didn't go in there.
It's a bonus.
An A student or a B student.
Yeah.
I said, C's get degrees.
And that's, what do you call a doctor that got all C's? What do you call a doctor that got all C's and D's? You call him a doctor. You call him a doctor.
Yes. I said, C's get degrees.
I know that's right.
So, don't beat yourself up if you didn't do good.
As long as you just do your best. Do your best. That's all you owe. And you don't owe that to anyone other than yourself. I feel like if you're using your money, you're spending your money, you're spending your time there, you're doing homework, staying up all night, you owe it to yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice if you go there and play around. Who has time and money to waste? So if you're going to go back, you need to go hard or stay home and not even bother if you don't plan on trying to do your best.
You're right about that. And like I said, I want everyone that's listening to understand that it is a difficult situation to put yourself in, especially after 40, and especially if you have a career already.
That's right.
You have a career, and I've been at the job that I've been on for 19 years, and I'm like, okay, I have a couple more years to go, and then I can retire, which is good. Mm-hmm. But what are you going to do? What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah.
And I had to question that. What did I want? I knew that I wanted to do something that was going to be impactful and inspire somebody else, that they could look at me and say, if she did it, I could do it. You know what I mean? And I use myself as my own tool.
That's right.
You know, if I'm doing it, you can do it. I know I don't understand all the equations. I probably don't even understand the words.
But that's what it's for. But that's what it's for. It's if you knew everything and you did everything, then you're dead. There's nothing else to learn if you know everything. But isn't it fun to learn?
Yes, I didn't realize how much I loved learning. And I want to say it's a class that I took, and it was an American government class. And I did it over the summer, and it was an online course. And this professor, I mean, the work he gave was like, are you kidding me? Really, it's online. Why? That's what I'm saying. Why do you want me to write so much about everything?
They say the online classes are very difficult.
But it depends. But you know what? It depends. If you're an online person, you can do an online class.
Gotcha.
That's what I would say. Don't be discouraged because other people said that online is hard. No. Remember the key word. It's called online.
Right.
So if you're online,
right.
you can find it online.
Right.
It's technology. So
right.
you have to be able to say to yourself, okay, it's online. I may not understand it. And if you have a good professor, then your professors will let you know what's going on. That's what online is about, your professor.
And it's different strokes, different folks.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But when I did this American government class, and when I did it, I was blown away. I was so blown away that it inspired me to want to know more.
Mm.
I wanted to know more because culturally, there's a lot that we don't know. So I'm letting this class inspire me to dig more because there's things in the African-American community that we should know. And a lot of people aren't going to pick up a book just to read and find out. And I believe that one thing that we all should know is the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Mm-hmm. That's something that every person needs to know. If you can know the Bill of Rights and the Constitution verbatim, you're powerful. You're powerful.
So what other classes?
You need a lawyer.
Wow. So what other classes have inspired you like that? Because I hear you applying your knowledge and what you learn. Because that's the thing about education. If you're not applying it and you're just retaining it, you're just retaining it or knowing something to know, but you're not applying it to your life. You're not telling someone else about it. You're not teaching yourself. Then sometimes it can get lost, as that life note I talked about earlier. But what were some of the other classes that you really found fascinating?
Psychology. I found out a lot about myself in psychology, how when you don't remember things, when your brain is still growing and you did things when you were a teenager and you can't remember, it was fascinating to me that it was a reason why I couldn't remember something I did when I was 14 years old or a trauma that happened, why I couldn't remember it. In my psychology class, and the professor, he was very encouraging. He said, you're going to do well. He said, because you take your time and you think before you answer the question. I said, because that's what psychology have you doing, to have you evaluating yourself. And then when people say that people are bipolar, I said, no, they're not bipolar. They don't know that there's many disorders out here. There's so many more disorders than bipolar. You know what I mean? There's schizophrenia. There's people.
Several mental illnesses.
Oh, yes. So for mental health, my psychology class and American government really, really has me wanting to know more. I mean, I want to dig so deep that I think I'll be in school for the next 10 years. Yeah.
That's awesome, though, Tishera.
You want to learn.
That's awesome. So you have a thirst for education and learning. Yeah, you thirsty.
You want to be able to give it back. I'm hungry.
Yeah. You hungry and thirsty.
Absolutely.
for education. So we talked about A's and B's, and you said C's, but I got a feeling that you're doing better than C's. Tell us what kind of grade you're getting, girl.
My grades are ABC.
Yes.
They are ABC. I will say that, but I don't go in there with the mindset, I'm going to pass this class. Like, I'm currently doing a biology class online.
Ooh.
And it had me like, I don't know if I can do this lab. This teacher's out is doing too much. but the key word was online.
Yeah.
So I was able to, now I can honestly say the grade has changed.
Okay.
The grade has changed because biology of the human body, have you learning things about the body that you never knew about?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the cardiovascular system.
Come on now, using that education. Come on, Tishera.
I mean, when I tell you, Kendéll,
Come on, Tishera.
The story system, you say if all of this does this, your skin, what your skin is, when your melanin is really popping, where skin cancer. So biology had me just looking, and I can honestly say that I'm learning a lot.
And you sounding all smart.
Girl, yes, child. I'm sounding educated.
I know. Listen to you.
That's what happened.
You never thought that in a radio interview or just a regular conversation you're gonna be talking about biology in the Bill of Rights.
No, because to me everything was ghetto fabulous. I have to be honest. Everything had a swag to it. And you can still have a swag to it, but you put it in such a way that people say, "Oh wow, oh wow, she really knows what she's talking about." You know what I mean?
I love it.
So I'm able to learn things, and then what I found to be very interesting is having a conversation with somebody and know what they're talking about.
Yes, but that's what education does. And I tell people, it opens you up where you can talk to the people in the hood, or you can sit in the White House. Well, not this White House when Obama was in that White House, but to sit and have a conversation with anybody and not feel inferior. And I don't like when people feel, even if you don't have the education, I'm a firm believer, don't feel inferior in front of anybody. Always be confident. But sometimes people are inferior when there are educated people there and people seem to know what they're talking about. And you're just looking like, well, I don't want to interject in a conversation because I'm not sure what they're talking about. So it is nice when you can pull up a seat at the table or create your own table. So
it is. It's powerful. It's powerful, very powerful. Because as you said, when you can sit with everyone, when you can sit with everyone, you don't feel like an outcast. You don't feel any of that because everybody is. If you're the type of person that people draw to you naturally anyway,
like you,
then when you have a great conversation, they draw even more.
Yeah.
And when you give the information out, they're like, "Oh, I can do that." You're like, "Yes, ma'am. You can do that. You didn't know you could do it." So I love knowledge is power. You remember back in the day, like on Channel 12 in Atlanta County, that it would always say, "Knowledge is power." Mm-hmm. It was on that off station.
Yeah.
But now as a full-fledged adult, you really know that knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Powerful. And that's the one thing can't nobody take from you is your education. Yeah. They can't take what you've learned and the knowledge you've gained. So Tishera, what would you tell someone listening right now and he or she is debating on whether or not they should go back to school in this next spring semester? What would you tell them? And how would you encourage them?
I would tell them that first, before you do it, I would say pray over it. Pray over it. You have to pray over it and seek God. Seek God and say, "Lord, am I doing the right thing?" And He will give you an answer, I promise you. Mm-hmm. And if your gut is saying, go for it, go for it. Take the leap of faith. Take your leap because it's your leap. It's nobody else's
Come
leap
on.
but yours.
Come on.
It's your leap. If you go back to school, it shouldn't bother anyone else. And if you can't financially afford it, if you can get financial aid, listen, grab all the financial aid that you can get because there's some of us that don't qualify for financial aid. So if they want to help pay for your education, make sure you go just pray over it and take the leap of faith. Take the leap. And even if you feel that you don't know once you get there, you don't know what you're doing, the millenniums will help you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The millenniums, the younger people for me have helped me tremendously. They're like, "Oh, this is what this is, and that's what that. Oh my goodness, Miss T." I'm like, I was in one class, and I literally was the oldest person in the class.
Yeah, that's how it is. I came back home. I asked my kids. I was like, "What's MLA?" Because it's so funny that you brought that up. Because it was like, for real, I can't just write my paper. Like I gotta,
Right.
So but the millennials, right, exactly. They like, because even if you're the oldest person in there, the younger people will still, like you said, help you. But the thing is, you can't be afraid to ask. You can't be afraid to say, hey, you know what? I don't know what this is. Can you help me, or can you show me? And use Google as your friend. Start researching everything. Read your text. And when I say text, I mean the book for your classes,
Right.
and really try to give your all. Not even try, give your all, because you're wasting your time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's wow, this time goes so fast. So I wanted to, so I'm going to have you back we're going to talk about spirituality. I know you wanted to talk about that. We're going to have a whole show on spirituality. So I want you to come back to do that show, and I'll have another guest definitely talking about that. But I'm a firm believer in praying before you do something as well. All right. I wanted to ask you so quickly, and then we're going to get into the On My Mind segment, and I want to talk about the bus, that bus life. All right. So one last thing about the education, and then we're going to move towards that bus life. Okay. So somebody wants to go back to school right now. They don't think that they can do it with their busy schedule. Quickly, what would you tell that person?
Online classes.
That was quick.
Online.
Online classes.
It's online class.
So needless to say, you love school.
I love school.
And it's opening up your mind. So tell me one reason why you love it outside of the reasons you told me.
I love learning. I really can't say any more than that. I love learning. I love being in an environment that I've never been in. When you didn't graduate from high school, you only was in high school until 9th grade. So I didn't know what it felt like to be among other people and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love being amongst other people and talking to them. And even though I may be older, I'm not their mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
You're old enough to be their mom.
Yeah.
But that's your classmate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you feel different, and you feel empowered that they can come to you and ask you, how did you know that? And you can say, child, life,
See?
Life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it works. It works both ways.
Yeah.
So I love learning. I do love learning.
So as you let Tishera inspire you all, she said she didn't graduate from high school, but at 42 years old, she decided to go back to school. She went to college, and she loves learning. So there's someone out there who maybe dropped out of school, or who graduated and didn't start college, or needs to go back to get their GED. It's never too late to remix your life. You can go back and get that degree if that's what you choose. Don't do it for a job. Don't do it for someone else. Don't do it for anything or anybody other than yourself. Show yourself what you're made of, and really go on and finish that thing. If you started it and that's something that you want to do, go ahead and finish it. Allow Tishera to inspire you to do just that. So I wanted to talk, we have a few minutes. I wanted to talk about that bus life. I see your videos on Facebook. Tell the people about that bus life and how they can listen to that bus life.
Okay, so
Quickly.
what I want to do is shout out very quickly. Kendéll Lenice is the inspiration behind a lot of things. But that bus life is pretty much, I'm a bus driver, and I get, over the course of the years that I've been a bus driver, I've met a lot of people. And a lot of people have done a lot of things that is just like really outrageous. Some have been good, some have been bad. It's been a lot of love, it's been a lot of hate. But I'm able to take what I see out there and draw characters. So no one would never know that I'm talking about them, because I created characters based on the things that people have done. So that bus life is just really a day in the life of a bus driver that sees things differently. Because the public looks at bus drivers as if we're mean, we're nasty. But sometimes we're just not that. We're just trying to figure out, like, really? Like, and that's the inspiration behind that bus life.
Yeah, like the Lollipop Gang, the guy that was on your bus.
Oh, my goodness, the Lollipop Gang. So let me tell y'all real briefly and very quickly. I'm on the bus, and I'm thinking it's just me on the bus, and I'm driving, and somebody walks up on the bus, and I'm like, oh, my God, my heart stopped because I'm trying to figure out, where did you come from? I thought you got off the bus. Well, he was a really short man, and he said, really short man. And he says, where you going? I said, well, I'm going back to Atlantic City. He says, okay. I said, well, I'll take you back to Atlantic City. But when I tell you, this man was very mean to me when he got on the bus earlier. So when he had to go back to where I picked him up from after it took us an hour to get him where he was going, he reminded me of the Lollipop Man off of The Wizard of Oz. the middleman. If you go on The Wizard of Oz, and you see the middleman, he looked just like him, except he was black. So that's how I come up with the character. I'll look at what he did, and it'll formulate that way. It's my own way of putting people into character mode, and he was the Lollipop Man, and I just laughed like the Munchkin.
That's
because
hilarious.
It was that short that I didn't see him.
That's
so
hilarious.
That Life is down. I'm streaming it back on Facebook, which is Tishera Miles-Jones, or you can go to Tishera Jones on Facebook. I'm only doing a brief segment in the morning time. I'm going to get back to my show, which is Truth to the T.
Yes.
I'm just trying to find the balance, and that's what happens when you're in school.
Yeah.
It's finding the balance to do a little this and a little that. So I wanted, because that bus life is really something that's bigger than what. It's bigger. It's bigger. I can feel it, and I can feel it bigger.
And I have some ideas for that for you too. And I didn't know I was part of that inspiration. God bless you. Thank you so much. I have some now. It's a lot of things, like you said, you can do with that. But we'll talk about that off air. But there's a lot of things that you can go with that, because you're really good at it. You're really good at it, and I see that going, like you said, a lot of different places. I want to start this new segment real quick because we only got a couple minutes left, called On My Mind. So just give me 1 second, and I'll tell you what's on my mind. If something's on your mind, let it off, let it off. If something's on your mind, let it off. It's time for this week's On My Mind. All right, on my mind. What's on my mind today, quickly, is crabs in a barrel. I can't stand it. Don't like it. We learn, we know, and we grow, and our testimonies are never for us. They're for other people. And if you want to put somebody on, but you're trying to figure out, well, should I put them on? Will they surpass me? So what if they surpass you? If you have the knowledge and the education to help someone else, do just that. Quickly, 30 seconds. What's on your mind, Tishera?
Inspiration, inspiring someone else. Letting someone else know that they can do it, no matter what their circumstances or situation is. Like, just do it. Don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about what you won't have. Just know that God has a plan for your life, and that as long as God is orchestrating your life and ordering your steps, you will be able to do it. So stay inspired and be an inspiration to somebody else that needs the same encouragement.
Boom. Tishera's going to end the show with that. Tishera, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for shining with me. Yay.
You're welcome. Thank you for allowing me to shine.
Absolutely.
Thank you for allowing me to shine. I appreciate you in so many ways. So make sure that y'all stay tuned. Make sure you click it. Make sure you add. Make sure that you allow her to do what she's doing, and that's shining. Because she's not just shining for you, she's shining for all of us.
Oh, well, that's it. That's all. Last words from Tishera. Remember, everybody, you're a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. We're going to have Tishera back on as we talk about spirituality in the month of November, towards the end. So stay tuned. God bless. Thank you for shining with me. Bye, Tishera.
All right. Good night.
Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.